you ever written a piece of music and thought, it's not quite heavy enough? The first album that I produced on my own was for myself, and even though I loved how the album sounded at the time, I had immediate regret upon releasing it when I realized that I had zero to no bass frequencies in the album. Whether a lack of knowledge of how to mix the low end or just not having enough, I never knew what the problem was. Ever since that moment and that album, I've been absolutely obsessed with bass tones. I think what I was really looking for was something to complement my heavier music. Something to add a beefiness and a bit more grit than I already had. So, did the only thing I knew possible. Just made some more bass.
Music and me, with me, Mark.
What I've gone and done is built myself the biggest, baddest and most evil bass drone that I can think of. But why now?
I had this awesome opportunity where some game developers in Poland wanted me to write some music for them. It also happened to be a porn game. So I was like, well, of course I'm going to do that. At the same time, I had just moved into my new house, made out of wood, tall ceiling, great opportunity for reverb. Why not take bass samples, put them through pedals and amplifiers into the space and record it with microphones.
I went about first sampling my trusty 5-string Ibanez bass guitar. The bass was tracked with 2 velocity layers and over 2 octaves ranging from A0 to A2. After the somewhat tedious editing process, as with all sample making, I had built myself a simple Kontakt instrument to have fun with. Then it was time to set up the room. To create the bass drones, I used my old Fender Frontman amplifier, a Boss Metal Zone distortion pedal for the true fans, and my Digitech RP500 multi-effects pedal. For ease, I loaded the raw bass guitar samples onto my phone. As I was wanting to capture mostly the reflections in the house, I placed only one microphone, an SM57, as a directional mic for the amp. I had a Rode NTG2 in the back of the house facing just off of center, and a wonderfully cheap AKG condenser upstairs capturing the true verb of the house. I was tucked away in the corner and even activated the stereo onboard microphone on my Zoom H6.
Okay, so tests.
I set up 5 different banks on my Digitech pedal with differing delays, reverbs, amps, distortions and cabs, and using that in conjunction with the Metal Zone just became so gnarly.
Whew! Got the sound I want. That is loud. That is loud.
Loud is good, let's do some recording.
A0.
I recorded 3 versions of each sample so that there was a variety in tones and distortions to choose from later. Then, editing the new samples, exporting and creating the Kontakt instrument.
There in all its glory, the Dark Lord bass. Not the best looking graphics, but man does it sound good.
The Dark Lord bass is a bass drone instrument built in Kontakt 6, the main purpose of which is to provide you with extra low end and distortion for any dramatic or intense moments in any music that you might be writing.
A couple of different applications I've noted already when playing around with the instrument, so I'll take you through a few examples right now. I'm going to jump straight to the primary bass tones, which are from G1 to C3. So what we have is the biggest, lowest and baddest note. As I said, we've got 3 varieties in tones and distortions, so if I choose C, here's velocity number 1. Number 2. And number 3. There are also 2 different sections of the keyboard that have been mapped with an EBow that I sampled.
can really hear the harmonics playing around in the room and bouncing between the different mics. I quite enjoy that. Another cool option is you can load a second instance of the Dark Lord bass, go all the way down to the modulation controls and turn the attack all the way down, and then now you have the original attack that was recorded. Okay, I wonder if I can write a piece of music using this now. Open up my template, tempo, brass. Short strings quickly. Now it's time to add the Dark Lord bass. Here's the brass alone, and here's with the Dark Lord bass in the brass. Woo! What about some drums? No song would be complete without guitar. Everything sounds better with a quick master, and voila.
Thank you very much for watching this video and for watching the channel. If you haven't subscribed, please do below on the red subscribe button. Also check out the links to all my other pages and channels in the video description below. And of course, a download to this free Kontakt instrument,
the Dark Lord bass.